uh, 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 uh. Barber Card Success, brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cuts Academy, Bristol and Crown Cuts Academy, JC. Today we have a special episode, a big episode today. We have some special guests. We got
He's killing the turntable.
he's killing it. Today our episode is about cutting kids' hair. We have two kids on the set, and they have some questions for us. We got some big questions. We're gonna spread some love the JC way. The only way we know how to do it is the Crown Cuts way.
Hey, you gotta listen to that.
Barber Card Success, brought to you again by Craig Charles of Crown Cuts Academy. Today we're gonna earn the crown, and we're gonna have some serious questions by these superstars, these legends.
Odo.
That's your nickname, Odo?
No.
Okay. So
My nickname is GA.
So Gia, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, that's my initials.
Let me ask you a question. When you go to the barber shop to get your haircut, what do you think about?
Think about getting my hair cut.
What do you like getting your haircut?
Mohawks.
Mohawk. That's your favorite kind of haircut, the mohawk?
Yeah.
You got a mohawk right now, right?
So
I
what?
wish my hair was made as a whole cut. Mohawks.
So what makes you happy when you get your haircut? You don't know what makes you happy when you get your haircut?
Mohawks.
Just mohawks. So what I'm getting from you like specialty haircuts. Anything that's fun. Okay. Jay, how you doing? How you doing today?
Good.
What do you think about when you get to the barber shop? You get your haircut.
Great.
What are you thinking about when you sit in the chair? What should the barber know about you?
I don't know.
You don't know. You want it to be a good experience. You want a nice haircut. You want to fade. You want to part. What do you think about when you sit and get your haircut?
A nice haircut.
Okay. And what else?
What's your favorite part about a haircut? Is there a favorite part? You like the alcohol at the end? Is that your favorite? That's not your favorite part. That's my favorite part.
So what's your favorite part?
The design.
The design? Okay, what do you like about the design? How does it make you feel when you have a nice design in your hair?
Happy.
Okay, that's good. GA, I heard you got a bunch of questions for me today. What's your first question?
What would you do if someone asked for an ugly haircut?
A great haircut?
That's a good question.
No, ugly.
Ugly haircut.
That's
What do
a
you do
great
if someone
question.
asks for ugly haircut?
I don't know.
Emma, you answer that question?
Man, that's a dope question, honestly. Because honestly, as barbers, people want to come and sometimes they have unreal expectations. Man, they I'm talking to you, right? I got to talk to you. So sometimes people come in and they want haircuts that don't look good on their hair, and we gotta tell them what will look good on their hair. So
What
sometimes
do you think? What I think it's cool about an ugly haircut is how it looks. I like not ugly haircuts, and I like ugly haircuts.
you just like your haircut, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All I like is haircuts.
Okay,
The only thing I like,
you're in the right place.
So you like getting your haircut. That's
and
good.
the other only thing I like is my family.
Oh, so haircuts and your family, that's the two things you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love, my favorite thing in my whole life.
All right, we're gonna get Jay right here to ask a question, because he got some questions too.
Okay.
So how we gonna do this, right? We're gonna ask you a question, and then we're gonna answer it, and then we're gonna ask Jesse a question. Then you have to give him your undivided attention, all right? And then we're gonna answer. All right, cool? Give me a pound.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
There
You
you
didn't
go.
blow it up.
So Jay, what's one of your questions?
Why did you make a shop?
Why did you make a barber shop? I wanted to own my own business. I wanted to get into something that I love, and I wanted to get something that I was passionate about. So I opened up my barber shop. Did that kind of help you answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, cool. GA, Mr. GA, your turn. What's another one of your questions?
Why would you? What would you do if you messed up someone's haircut?
Oh man, that's another good question. Always
Uh,
good questions.
Yeah.
Sometimes
good
it's just
question.
sometimes you gotta have an awkward conversation. Oh, why we gotta take you bald? So you just try to tell.
I would take you bald.
You take me bald.
Mm.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would you tell me if you cut my hair bald? What's something if you accidentally cut my hair bald? What would you say?
I would say great.
Great.
What?
Oh man. Oh man, I'm not coming back here.
And when they make your hair back, I'm gonna shave it again.
Oh,
all
man.
the way.
You be a good barber for the military. You a military barber.
You just want to do high and tight.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna do high and tight.
First day of basic.
No,
Hitting
I'm
everybody.
gonna be a barber here.
Okay.
So this might help. So you thinking about being a barber one
I'm
day?
gonna work where you work,
That's
and
cool.
at the same room.
Well, you like 5 minutes walk. You can walk to work.
Yeah, me and you.
Yeah, we can walk to work. So Jay,
I wonder.
when you waking up in the morning and your dad say, "We're going to get a haircut," what goes through your mind?
I don't actually know.
Are you happy to get your haircut, or do you want to stay in bed, or you like thinking like, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know what I'm gonna put myself into. What's going through your mind?
I like getting haircut.
Are you like getting haircuts too? So you gotta keep that thought now because your dad is watching and listening. You like getting haircuts. Okay. Oh, you like getting certain haircuts by certain people.
Certain people.
Oh, let's not get into that one. What kind of designs you like the most?
Zigzags.
You like the zigzags? Anything that zigzags.
Tia, you done gave up on us? You leaving already? You gotta put that headset on.
What's that?
Okay, I'm just gonna put them on.
There you
Yeah.
go.
All I'm gonna do is put them on.
Oh, you can stand up right there. can
Did
stand
you
up.
always like going to the barber shop?
Kind of.
Was there something? Is there something that you don't like? What I should ask you? Is there anything that you don't like about the barbershop? So it's always fun when you get to go, and you like the alcohol. No.
Well, I think what it is with Jay, he comes to the barbershop so early in the morning. His dad take him to get breakfast. That's what it is. That's probably the favorite part, going to McDonald's, huh?
No.
You like going to McDonald's?
It's every kid's favorite restaurant. You don't like
Yeah.
McDonald's?
That's my favorite restaurant. I love Happy Meals because they come with French fries and toys.
Tell them.
I love toys.
Shout out McDonald's. Let's get to
So what's your next question? You had two, and now you got a couple
Hey,
more.
want to know something? So when someday
I like how he's
when
whispering.
I grow up and work with you,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go to McDonald's.
That build-up was incredible.
When he grow up and work with me, he's gonna. I like
Man, this
that.
is gonna be suspenseful. People are gonna be hanging.
And for dinner, some days I'm going to spend the night with you.
You got
Okay.
another question? What about you? You got another question? Did you write them down?
Oh yeah. Hey, yo.
Give me a question also, without looking at your sheet. Give us a question.
Why do you like haircuts?
Because it's like artwork. It's my passion. It's something I love to do. I love making people happy. Why do you love haircuts, am I?
I mean, I like making haircuts. You like to get haircuts, right? So for me to give you something that you like, I think that's the ultimate job for me, to give somebody something that they can enjoy and be happy with. And I also like putting alcohol on people's lineups after I do it, especially kids.
Burn them up.
Ask your barber when you go back. Whoever cuts your hair, ask them like, "Do you like putting alcohol on people's head?" I bet he says yes.
Gia, you got refilled. You got something to drink. You got something to eat. So what's your third question?
What would you do if someone spended the night with you?
Movies and junk food.
Well, we don't. I don't take the work. I don't take the work home. So once I leave the shop, this dude right here.
I just drink water.
You just drink water.
You like water?
That's it.
Oh, you all right then? I didn't drink water till I was about 19.
Milk and water.
It's-
Chocolate milk
so
and
that's
water.
that's a nice combination to water it
But I
down.
don't- the only type of water I don't like is flavored water.
Flavored water.
That's the worst water.
It
You got another
is.
question about the barber shop? Is there something else you want to know? I bet you're full of questions.
I'm full of questions.
Let me hear one of the cool
Because
questions.
you was asking all these questions before we even came on the set.
How did you know you wanted to be a barber?
I didn't know. I actually was doing something completely different before, and I just started doing it, and I like it a lot. How did you know you like McDonald's? You had to try it first, right?
Yeah. I like it comes with a toy.
You like that it comes with a
The
toy?
first time
That's the
I
only reason.
got a toy is because it comes with a toy.
Hey.
And french fries.
Cutting hair comes with money sometimes
And
too.
in
And
McDonald's,
sometimes it comes
and in
free.
McDonald's they have Space Jam toys.
Space Jam toys. We don't got Space Jam toys in the
No,
barbershop.
we don't got that yet. So I know you got. I know you got a list of questions. Come on with your questions.
Why do you like designs?
Why do I like designs? Because it makes people happy and then brings out your creative side. It brings out your artistic side. It makes you feel like you're doing something with meaning. Especially when you give someone something that they want, exactly what they wanted.
Designs are like create art, man. Like, so you ever do a really cool picture? Is that your notebook? Do you have cool pictures in there? You don't have any cool pictures? Well, when I used to draw a really cool picture, I used to feel really cool. I used to be so happy with my picture. I get to look at it all the time. So getting to do a design is like you get to see a picture that you drew and that you did a good picture, and it makes you feel better.
Hmm.
Gee, he just got words in there. This man's about his business.
Yeah, he got a ton of questions.
Yeah.
These are just my dad's.
Well, you want to ask me your dad's questions?
Draw a picture in there.
What's your dad's question?
Do what?
There are
It's all
3 boxes of 100 sheets of paper and some single sheets of paper on the desk. Choose all the numbers that show how many streets of paper to be on the desk.
So that's your dad's journal.
Yeah.
You reading from your dad's
That's what I
journal?
was asking. Is he doing math problems? Is he a teacher?
So what's your next question? Because I think GA forgot all his questions.
He's had some pretty good questions.
Because he told me he had about like 15 questions.
I have 20,000.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that'll take every single day.
I think I did the same question.
What is it? You got to read it out.
Why do you like to do haircuts?
Because it's my passion. It's something that I love to do. So that's showing you when you find your passion in a job, you will never work. So ask me some random, close the book and ask me and I, the co-host, a random question about the shop that you can think of.
Anything about a haircut or a barbershop or Beyblades? I'm just kidding. It's got to be about the bar. I think you would look at me. You got any questions? Do they need a Beyblade stadium at the barbershop?
So what would make you extra happy if you go into to get your hair cut and you're seeing something in it? What would make you extra happy?
I don't know.
So I got another question. If you was building your barbershop, right, what would it look like? Describe your barbershop for me.
Hey. If I was a builder and builded a barber shop,
Yeah, describe
It
it.
will-
Describe your barbershop for me.
it would have 20,000 million stairs.
Oh man.
And to get to the 20th level, you would have to go on 100 stairs to get to it.
You don't need a
the
haircut
hun-
just to get a haircut.
You trying to create a maze.
Yeah,
not a barber
that's
shop.
what I was doing on
You need
mine.
an elevator.
So you'd have an elevator in your barbershop?
I'm gonna
Oh.
have a fast elevator in my shop. Mine would be like.
You got that Willy Wonka elevator.
So
Yeah.
what how would describe your barbershop, Jay? Talk about your barbershop. If you was creating your own barbershop from scratch, what would be in there? Would there be a kids room? Would there be like video games? Would there be some
Kids
a
room.
popcorn machine or
Kids room.
so describe it. Describe what's in that barbershop kids room.
What are some of your favorite things that you would put in the barbershop? Like,
I know you like Legos.
you don't like Legos? You like Beyblades? Am I guessing? So would you have like a Beyblade stadium? You know, it'd be cool if you had like a Beyblade battle room in the middle of the barbershop. That would be awesome. With a big dome in the middle of it.
So so GA, talk about it. What else would be in your barbershop?
I don't know.
What time would your barbershop open and what time would it close?
What time it would open is 50 o'clock
I'll be there.
in the morning.
So that means 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and when it closes, it's 5 million o'clock in the night.
Okay. So that's like 12 o'clock at night.
We're
Yeah,
gonna-
12
listening to
o'clock in
this.
the night.
So you'd open from 5 to 12 at night. What about you? What time would you open your barbershop?
Want to know how long it would be opened? Until night.
11:40.
11:40 in the morning.
That's when you go to work. Sign me up.
And what time would you close?
At 11:45.
What? Just 5 minutes? Why would it just be 5 minutes?
You don't even get an edge up in that time.
There's
Craig
a
probably
coffee
edge you up in
shop
that time.
Close
Oh.
by my next to
11
my house, and it closes 5.
Are you talking about open doors? Yeah. Do you go in there and get anything to eat? So if you cutting hair as a barber, what would you want to eat as a barber? What would give you energy?
feel it coming.
Chocolate milk.
Oh man, I thought he was gonna say McDonald's for real.
And what would you like? Jay?
Actually, apples from McDonald's.
McDonald's have apples?
Yeah, they do. They got it in the
Yeah.
kids meal.
Yeah.
It's an option.
What?
They're trying, man.
My legs. My legs. My legs.
Well, let me help you out. Come back in. Come back in.
What's your favorite food?
I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get.
So you can't freeze up now. If you have one thing that you could say
I hear
to
you.
your mom out there looking, right? What would you say to her? Jay? What would you say to your mother looking? You can't say nothing to your mom? Oh, we freezing up today. You don't want to talk to your mom because your dad's here. GA, what would you say to your dad?
I would say you're a weirdo. And I love you.
That's the most kid answer I've ever heard.
You tell your dad he's a weirdo?
Yeah,
And
and I love him. Even though
And the thing I drink is water, just water.
Just water.
just water is the weirdest drink
So
in my
what would you want to say to your mother? She's looking.
She's not looking.
'Cause we
Only
about-
his dad.
We're about to close your show in a second because we have the expert getting ready to come on and talk about why people need to cut kids' hair. What is that?
I don't know what that was. at all.
That's his
That
turntable.
That means you're weird.
This guy's gonna be a future MC because you.
Yeah. It's Scott
I know how to
Storch.
take this
Scott
off.
Starks.
Yeah.
I know how to take this off.
Tired.
You tired already?
He's got some baby.
So let me read you. Let me see your question.
No.
Yeah, he has some great ones. Mr. GA right here said his dad is weird, but he loves him. At least you say you love him.
At least I love my family.
For
Yeah,
sure.
So that means I love my dad.
of course. All right, so check this out, right? We getting ready to close. What is your last words that you want to say?
What's your final words, man? What would you go out saying? What you gotta say?
I would say you're weird.
Is that what you got to say? What you got to say?
What you got to say, Jay? Your last words.
That you're really nice at cutting my hair.
So if somebody come to you and said, if I said to you, Jay, you have to get a new barber, what would you say?
No.
Why?
You know what I would say? I would say
Because I
you know,
like you
when
cutting
I
my
walked
hair.
in, and I said to a barber, I would say, "You're family."
That'd be nice.
Actually, I would say you're.
You cut his hair, Craig?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say you're the kiddest person.
So GA, do you like this? You like different people cutting your hair, GA?
I like no one cutting my hair, except kids.
So you want there to be a kid barber to cut hair now?
Yeah.
Why a kid barber?
What?
Cause I wish there was a kid barber.
That's a cool
And
idea.
I wish I could be a kid barber.
So you know what? One day you're gonna make a perfect barber.
I wish I could be a barber. I would have worked hair so bad.
In due time. In due time.
Even though I still want to be a kid and I want to work here. So.
It's the best of both worlds. But why would you work if you were a kid? Why would you want to work?
Because being at school is really boring because I know how to do everything there.
School should be fun, man.
School is fun.
That's what I'm
boring.
talking
You like
about.
school?
It's boring because I know
Understand
everything.
Educare.
Yeah.
Summer school.
So you go to Educare too? GA goes to Educare.
I'm gonna.
Cherokee.
I'm gonna skid away from that side.
So you think we should have like a barber shop at Educare?
How cool would that be though to have kids come in and just like cut like a mannequin or something? That's a good idea.
I would not.
You wouldn't cut the mannequin? It's not even a real person.
So-
No, I'm talking about have a barber.
I wish to work where you work.
You wish to
When
work.
I'm a kid.
So you wish to work where I work. We can do that. We can arrange that.
When I'm a kid.
So the first thing you have to do is come and sweep up first. That's the first part of the job.
I'm gonna do that
You know how to sweep?
tomorrow night.
You know how to sweep?
Tomorrow night I'm doing that.
So tell your dad, bring you down to the school,
I know how to sweep.
and we'll grab you the broom, and then you'll sweep some hair up, all right? That's the first part of the job.
Why would I do that?
Because you want to work at where I
Ah,
work. Yeah.
before
Would you rather sweep hair or come to school?
I would get my hair before I come.
Go to school.
You'd rather
Yeah.
go to school?
School.
I rather go to
Yes.
work.
So
And
you
I
know,
don't even eat any
I
breakfast.
would rather work with my mom.
you rather work with your mom or your dad?
That's a solid. Wait, he pleads the fifth, Craig.
Dad.
Oh
You
man.
rather work with your dad? So you know your dad's gonna take you to the next delivery trip.
Yeah.
Gee, you gonna pop that?
Whatever happened to bring your kid to work day? Whatever happened to that? Do we still do that?
So check this out. How did you feel about being on the podcast today?
Great.
What'd you like about it?
I can hear you. These don't actually work, you know.
They do. What do you like about being on the podcast, GA?
I can hear you.
You like being on the on this set? What do you like about it?
I like it. What I like about it is how it looks.
You like wearing a headset and hearing yourself talk, don't you?
Hey.
Is that your favorite part too? You like hearing yourself in the headset?
So check this out. This is what I want you guys to do for me, right? So we're gonna go ahead and start add to the show. So both you guys gonna have to go and sit on that side of the glass, right? Is that cool? Can
You
you,
did
do
a
that
great
for me?
job.
Well, thank you again, and tell me your name. Say your name in the mic, and say what school you go to and what you like to do.
I wanted to eat and watch the show.
You did an awesome job too, bud.
So tell me
And I
your
like
name.
your baby.
What's your
you got the
name?
rippers? You got the
My
rippers with you?
name,
We gonna
you
battle.
can call me my initials, GA.
And what do you do? What do you like to do, GA?
I love to be with my family.
And what school do you go to?
I go to Northside.
And what grade?
Yeah, Northside.
What grade are you in?
Pre-K.
Amazing. Can you?
I don't go to school anymore. But I will go to school. But I'm in educare only.
So you want to say you want to give a shout out to any one of your friends, to your crew? Who's in your crew again?
Zamari.
And who else? Mason,
Mason,
And
the
who else?
meanest kid to me.
Shout out. Mason.
I can see you. I can see you by closing this
So-
eye just a little bit.
give me your full
I can
name
still see
and
you.
tell me what you like to do and what school you go to.
My phone number, I don't have.
I like to
What do you like to do for
I
fun?
need to tell my mom something.
go outside in a chair and go to the gym and watch a movie.
So you like to work out?
No,
So tell me your full name. You want to say hello to anybody out there? To your mom, your sister?
James, Brooks, and Keaton are my friends, and my mom, and my sister, and my dad.
So you got the mic and the camera and say hello.
Hello.
And tell them what you enjoy about the set today.
I enjoy that I keep talking
Okay.
to trash.
Oh, you just like talking to
all
me?
the time.
You only like talking when you're in the shop.
Oh, you
All
want
right.
to smoke too? Hold on, Craig. 1 second. These kids out here challenging me. Hold on, wait. We're on 3. Hold on. Come back later. Next time. Take that L. Both y'all.
So GA. So both you guys, you can go around the corner and play rock, paper, scissors, right? Because we're gonna come and talk to your mom. So you have to give your mom the mic.
Great job, guys.
Thank you guys for coming out. And I appreciate you guys.
Take your applesauce.
I need to bring my drink.
Take your drink with you too.
I'll need this.
Yes.
Huh? Yeah. So Lathan, can we just start with her fresh and just add them in like, yeah.
He has some dope questions, man, off the top of his head too.
Oh yeah. Every time I wear these things, people always stop.
Flexing.
No, I'm comfortable.
Them things are dope.
They are comfy.
They match the fit too.
Oh, I try, man. What do you think about the new stations?
They all express their own personal feelings about it. But I told them it's gonna work out, man. Get the as soon as you get the mirror, they don't see the vision though. You can't share the vision.
No, you can't see it. They dreaming. They're still sleeping.
Gosh.
Loose.
Miss J from around the way, G.I. Jane. That's my workout partner.
Oh really? You go to the Mayweather?
Yeah.
From CrossFit.
Yeah, we've been working out for like 7 years or something together.
Yeah, probably
Word.
more than that.
CrossFit, wellness.
Yeah.
Does she do the Mayweather boxing too?
Yeah, no, I do boxing.
Okay. That's tough. I seen him. I watch him on the story. It looks rough.
I know.
It does. Yep. Barber College Success, brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cuts Academy JC, Crown Cuts Academy Bristol. Spreading love the JC way. It's the only way we know how to do it is the Crown Cuts way. Today we got a special episode on cutting kids' hair. We're gonna talk and drop some gems, some jewels, and we got an expert, my friend, my homie, who's been doing this for a long time, who specializes in kids. And we're gonna talk about a serious issue. But again, Barber College Success. With my co-host, I'm gonna introduce himself, and we're gonna run with it. Welcome to another great, successful episode, top 25 in the world. Hashtag earn the crown. And we're going to spread some love the JC way. The only way we know how to do it is the Crown Cuts way. My co-host, take the mic.
Fields, am I your barber on Instagram? Holla at me if you need a haircut or just message me. You got some questions?
Introduce yourself, man.
Oh, I'm Jamie Osborne Reed. I'm a speech language pathologist. I've been doing this for about 10 years now. I'm in pediatrics, and I specialize in children with communication disorders, so especially Down syndrome or sensory processing disorder, autism spectrum disorders, anything like that. And that's about it. I work at Talkback Pediatric Therapy in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Yes, and again, for our sponsors, Colossal Brand, shout out one time. Miss Janie, so when you hear, what do you think about when you hear kids' haircuts? What's the first thing coming to your mind as a parent?
So as a parent, I get my son, he's used to it now, but I was
Right.
very nervous starting out, taking him in, afraid that he'd freak out or have a meltdown or something like that. Now that he's done it for so long, he likes it, he
Right.
enjoys it.
He
But
does, I can tell.
but from a clinical standpoint, as my job, I have so many patients who struggle with haircuts. It's just a very stressful experience for them. In terms of kids that have sensory needs, they just get very upset and bothered by the whole experience of getting a haircut, just all the sensory input that they're getting as they're not used to it, and they have to learn. And there's a lot of ways that we can do it as parents and as barbers, what we can do to help that situation to make it more positive.
So it's a popular concern for parents that are
Oh,
dealing
yeah.
with children with sensory needs.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have a big part of my job is parent training, so they do come to me with these situations
Concerns.
that seem easy to other parents, but to parents with children with special needs, it's a big concern. It's a big situation, so I have to come up with some ideas for them to kind of work through it, and that's a very common thing.
I mean, it's so there's a stigma out there with barbers who don't want to cut kids' hair as it is.
Yeah.
So I could imagine for a barber who do not want to cut kids' hair below 12, and for them to come into a situation where a single mother or even any mother wants their kid, or even the father wants their kid to get service, and they have a disability or some type of hindrance in their behavior. I mean, everyone deserves service.
I think so too. I think, I honestly, if it weren't for children, I wouldn't be a barber because I started as an apprentice, and a lot of people didn't want me to cut their hair, but they were cool with their kids getting haircuts. And some people would like use their kids as bait. Like they'd be like, yeah, cut my kid's hair, and I'll see how you do it. And you cut my hair. So,
and it's funny you say that, MI, because when I first started in Dudley Square in Oasis Barbershop, Spencer and Mr. Steele, shout out to them. They sent a lot of the kids to me, and what that did for me, it taught me patience.
yeah.
And it taught me how to take my time and slow it down sometimes, because as a new barber, you're such in a rush and you're going fast. So I kind of got to the point where all the kids was coming to my ears, got so good with kids where people started directing their kids towards me. And it taught me so much, and it taught me a valuable lesson: how to listen to the parents, how to listen to the kids, how to adapt to the kid in certain instances, certain situations, to give them the best possible haircut for that, to represent them. So,
and also having the mom stand over top of you and give you that little bit of tense moment, like when you first start. So you have a mom stand over watching you cut your kids' hair.
And people don't realize, a lot of parents, mothers, fathers who bring their kids to get a haircut, they appreciate you. They look forward to their little girl, boy, whoever it is, getting great service. So this is a real important topic that I think we need to address for and stop that stigma. Address that stigma where kids are just kids with their behavior. We don't want them. We don't want this. So who's going to service the kids?
Mom and dad hit them with the two all over, the little Cabbage Patch Kids.
So, but how does that make you feel, Janie, when you hear us talk about there are a lot of barbers out there who don't want to service kids?
I mean, we have experienced that. We did try to find a barber for him, and they changed that they did not want to see kids underage. I think it was 10 anymore.
Right.
So, it is frustrating that, people do shy away from wanting to deal with kids,
And then kids with sensory needs, I mean, if as a parent, you want your kid to look good in pictures, you want your kid to be represented well, and you want your kid just to, and that's part of hygiene too as well. So,
I'll say that, like, it's not always on the barber for not wanting to cut kids sometimes,
Right.
because there are parents that do make
Oh,
it
by far.
hard, that just sit there on their phones and scroll while your kid's trying to throw a punch at me. You
Oh,
know
I
what I'm
know.
saying?
Yeah.
And it may not be a sensory thing. It's more of like a negligence
Like a
thing.
behavior.
And I've seen that as well. You know, that's definitely. But that's one thing that I would say, like, of observation. Like, sometimes it makes you dread cutting children because it's different when a mother is, you know, you don't have to be apologetic, but you could tell a difference in the sincerity of
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
hey, you know, he just had it.
Who's partaking in the haircut?
Exactly.
Who's helping you make your
Mhm.
job a little easier?
Yeah, or somebody's just like, you babysit them for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Man. Okay.
And I think that goes with, like, not just children with sensory needs, but, you know, as a parent too,
Mhm.
like preparing that child appropriately to what's going to happen and how you behave and what's going to occur in the haircut. Like, that's a big thing with children with autism too. It's just, if you give them an expectation of what's going to occur,
Mhm.
then it'll be a better situation for the barber and for the child and for the family in general.
So to help parents out there too, what I'm hearing from you is, do you have to kind of give the kids like
Briefing.
a briefing before they go to the barbershop, maybe a day or two, or maybe just what I would recommend sometimes, I would tell people just bring the kid down to the barbershop. Don't even let them get a haircut.
Yeah, just to get used to it. So that's one thing that I would suggest. So, like, with any child, especially a child with autism or sensory processing disorder, it would be nice to come and see the
Environment.
environment first. You know, take in all that sensory input they'll get on the day of the haircut. So the smell of the hair, the feeling
Astringents,
of
the alcohol,
yeah,
the
all the
different
smells
smells.
and all
Yep.
the sounds and all those sensory input, that it can be overwhelming for a child with sensory needs. Just getting down there just, a few days ahead of time, or
Mhm.
even, working 1 day a week up until the haircut, just so they can get used to those.
Let them sit in the
That's
chair and not cut
yeah,
their hair, stuff like
yeah,
that.
just so they can get used to it.
And the more I'm thinking about this now as we talk, I'd almost say have you could even start this process like 3 months early.
Oh yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, because one thing that we do as speech pathologists too is that we can write a social story. So a social story that we can write ahead of time, where we put the child in the story and we tell them what's going to happen in the situation, how they feel.
Mhm.
So we'll say, like, Johnny's story. We'd say, like, I am going to the haircut. This is what's going to happen. This is how it makes me feel. These are the experiences that it's going to be like. So it's kind of like rehearsing it before it happens. So I think that'd be great. Like, a few months ahead of time, every week you're reading this story to him.
One
To
thing
know
that,
what's going to happen.
oh, excuse me. One thing that I read online or heard, I can't cite it. I wish I could. But one thing they had mentioned was never say cut, like hair cut, because cut, if a child's been cut before and knows what that is, could trigger a negative response for
Yeah.
saying, just by saying cut.
That's a good
So
idea.
get your hair, let's make your hair look nice, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Styled.
Exactly. Yeah. So cut, because cut can make them
Yeah,
dread
that's
something.
changing it into more positive
Yeah.
words instead of negative. That's a good idea.
And another thing that parents need to think about also is that I know you want your kid to have a specialty cut, but some kids you can't really get a specialty cut. I mean, you can ask your barber to have you a well maintained groomed haircut, because some kids might not want to stay for 15, 20 minutes to get
Yeah.
that nice mohawk or the frohawk.
And I've had, like, and it's funny because I've had parents come in with like a 2-year-old, like, hair isn't filled in all the way, and like, kind of throwing a little bit of the fit, and they show me a picture of a guy with a skin fade and a beard, and I'm like,
Who was 12 years old.
exactly, or 30, it could be 30 years old.
So typically at times what I tell parents too, they can go on YouTube or go on Pinterest or just go on images and type in the exact age of your kid and type in haircuts, because the kid haircut will come up with that particular age, and that would help decipher what kind of haircut he will be able to
That's a gem right there.
partake.
Yeah, that's a jewel.
That's how you earn the crown.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Because I know it's tough, because like I said, all parents, they talk about some of the anxieties that parents go through that they have said to you or spoke to you about before getting a service or haircut.
So, a lot of my parents with children with autism or sensory needs, they
Or
are
even
just
disabilities, kids in
any
wheelchairs.
disabilities. Yeah, they are just afraid that they are going to be a bother to the barbers. They're not going to be able to service them the correct way.
Mhm.
Not on the barber, but on the child, being able to sit there
Mhm.
and be patient and be able to tolerate it for a certain amount of time. Those things, just simple things like going out in public sometimes is very stressful
It's
for
daunting.
parents, especially with special needs. So I I think they just talked to me about how, and it's really upsetting to them that they are just afraid that it won't happen and there'll be a negative experience for everyone. And
Because at times kids would they might have an accident, and as a parent you might feel embarrassed to
Mhm.
be in the surrounding where this is something that you can't control.
right.
So this episode is so important because we're giving people and barbers tips to how to manifest the best way for the parent.
Mhm.
And as we sit and we're talking, I'm just having all these thoughts and ideas go through my mind to the
It-
point almost where I think it's almost a mistake to take the kid down that first day and have him get his hair cut.
and
Yeah.
that was really cool, like just to build up, like, because there's the subtle things that children enjoy so much, like just being able to spin in a barber chair or look in a mirror
Mhm.
or things like that that they can take in before actually the nervousness of hearing the clippers cut on.
Or even hair the clippers, put it in their hands and have them walk away.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So that's another thing. Like another suggestion would be having them practice hearing what the clippers sound like, because I don't know, do they make quieter clippers or specialty
That's
ones?
They do. Some barbers are real cheap sometimes when they keep clippers for like 10 years
Okay.
and don't want to switch them out.
So that would be an idea. It's just getting them used to
Less
the
noise.
noise of
Right.
it, and then like maybe switching to scissors if you need to,
Right.
if clippers is too overwhelming for them. Just those little things like that they can get used to.
And I recommend that. I mean, some barbers are different, but I don't recommend that kids get haircuts before the age of 2. That's just a rule of thumb for me in the
Well,
shop.
culturally, some people, I mean, it's way before that. Like culture, there's some cultures that believe, and it's not like Aboriginal cultures. It's like people that believe that, like even when a baby's born,
Mhm.
that you should shave the head of the child, so that because they believe it'll grow back thicker. So, I mean, it just depends.
I mean,
I think it should be a preference. I
for,
think if you feel like the child,
well, for me individually, I think too, because a lot of the kids, their skull is so soft before too.
Yeah.
Yep. And on top of their scalp, the skull hasn't fused yet, and that's still soft on top.
Mhm.
And it usually starts fusing until about the age of 2.5, maybe 3. And the kids, they bob and weave, and if you have a sharp object in your hand, a tool, a pair of shears, you might gouge someone's eyeballs out. You might give them cut their little tender areas. You might do something that you can't control. So typically, I think a child can sit up about 2.5 in the chair. Some can be 4.
well, it just, I mean, to your point, and I didn't take account the whole medical side of it, but I've had incidents where there was children that were like 16 months, 18 months, that their hair's in their eyes, they can't see,
Right.
and they're running into stuff, things like that have happened.
And
And I
and
mean, I'm not saying give them a skin fade, but
right, but some parents will come and show you a picture of Nas and the baby's 16 months.
I'll say, yeah, I'll put the beard on them too.
Yeah. I mean, that's not fair to you. And typically, if you want to cut some kids, in that instance, most kids that the hair probably is growing uneven, and you can do a quick job of maintenance to make it be admirable,
Yeah.
so you can get by. You don't want to get into too much detail the younger the kid is.
You're right.
You try to direct the parent away from that kind of haircut to like one that's more
Yes.
appropriate. Yeah.
It's like GA said, what do you do if somebody asks for an ugly haircut or unbecoming haircut? You want to direct them to a haircut that's going to fit their mold of their scalp, their complexion, and something that's not going to put them in harm's way.
And I think if you're a barber that do cut children, you probably see the same pictures of the same kid. I've seen the same pictures of the same kids over, and I feel like they're my kids. I probably see more pictures of them.
And I could sympathize with a lot of the parents when they talk about they feel neglected by barbers who they don't want to get turned away. So what they do, they just stay at home and they do it by themselves. And a lot of them
Yeah.
become barbers and take care of their kids. But you should be able to go and get service anywhere. I mean, it's not fair to get turned away.
Yeah.
And most barbers, if you're a real and true barber, you will try to accommodate first.
Is a problem before the haircut, or is it after a haircut's happened? Do you see more of like people dreading the whole before they do the first haircut, or more of like afterwards they know how it's going to be the next time? Or-
Yeah. I mean,
I think both.
yeah, the majority of them though are like, it's a new situation, so they've never done it before, or
Mhm.
like it was an attempt at home and it was bad. So
Yeah.
now they feel like they know that they are not good out in public in these certain situations, and they just have anxiety about it because I know they are, a lot of new sensory input is in that new situation, so they're just very anxious about that.
But it's not just sensory kids and kids with autism
Right.
or kids with disabilities. It's, I mean, typically some kids who would be deemed, what's the correct term?
Typical or
Typical kid.
neurotypical, yeah.
Um, they don't want to sit for a haircut either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and there's parents who have a certain way of thinking going to the shop like, oh man, I'm a mother, a single mother, or a female. I have to take this little boy to get his haircut, and I don't want to sit there because he's going to embarrass me, or
scream the whole time.
scream the whole
Yeah.
time, and that happens. But for me, what I do as a barber, I always try to take the kids' attention away from something. So I will let them hold a brush. They can throw a brush, and it's not going to hurt it. But try to, because they can't think and cry and hold something at the same time.
I kind of got a little system. Like at first, I'll talk to them and explain to them what's going to happen. We're going to make it look nice, and then I'll get them in the chair. And then whether or not they want to still, it depends on the child, of course. So if they don't want to sit still, we'll try with a parent on the lap, and then I'll try to, this is progressive, but I'll do it to every child. So, but it's also my levels of like dealing with it. I'll let them hold the clipper and cut the clipper on and off.
Right.
And then I'll offer them a sucker or tell them I'll give them a sucker. So things like that to try to positively reinforce
you have
everything.
to, and again, Market Street Media, shout out to Market Street Media. If you have any questions live, send to Lathan. He'll put them up on the board and we'll answer your questions best as to our ability. Because I know there are a lot of parents out there, a lot of people out there who want to get their kids' haircuts. And it's almost brought me to the point where I've thought about just opening just a kids' barbershop.
They have those in cities.
Yeah.
They got the little like chairs with like trains and
Airplanes,
stuff like that.
helicopters,
Yeah.
and just a kids' barbershop in the area. But I was thinking, like, would you be able to get any barbers to work? You know what I mean?
I mean, they work at super cuts.
But you know what I mean? You want to be able to service people, and it's not fair when you can't get service.
I agree.
And it's I mean, on the business perspective, that's a whole market that could be tapped into that people are neglecting, and like Craig always says, a real barber never turns down any service. So, that you're limiting yourself, and you're only limiting yourself.
So what should barbers know before they turn down people with sensory needs or people with disabilities or autism? What can you say to them to prepare them for that?
There's a lot of things that you can do to help make the situation easier. It starts with the parents too. So like the parents should have like a social story or build it up and get them used to the sensory input ahead of time to kind of prepare them. And then barbers, you're doing the right thing, telling them exactly what's going to happen. Let them play with the clippers ahead of time. All those things are going to be helpful. Also, like they make capes that aren't like down. Have you seen these? They're kind of like a saucer. They collect the hair this way.
Right.
That's easier because it kind of makes and doesn't let the hair fall on them.
What kind of cape is it again?
It's kind of like a saucer, like 6 up.
Kind of like an umbrella, umbrella.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's easier for kids with sensory needs because having the cape drape over them, the hair falls more easily. The saucer one kind of catches.
And
the
sometimes
hair.
they feel constricted, like by the cape, like if it gets caught.
It's funny you say that because I had this kid. I used to cut him for the longest time, and by the time we got his haircut, it was done. His haircut was finished. He would take the cape, throw it off. He'd come out his shirt, and the haircut was uncomfortable. I knew his mother wanted a haircut, so I worked with him. I worked with him for about years, and I started cutting his hair. Maybe he was about 3, and we could not get through with the haircut without him taking the cape off. So one day I was like, okay. And I tried to put it back on, and his mother would hold him and put the cape back on, and we finished the haircut. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut his hair without the cape, without the shirt. And he sat still every day after that.
That's awesome.
And I've had to do that too, man.
Just trying to think of creative ways to think of something different.
Mm-hmm. So just letting them do a preferred activity, giving
Right.
them a sucker, letting them hold their iPad and watch a show, something to distract them are
Right.
all great ideas. Also, like maybe if you can eliminate some of the stronger smelling things used on them, maybe like
Mhm.
a scent-free gel or something like that
Is that a big thing
instead.
too, as well as the
Yeah,
smell
so
of
like the
things?
smell of things is a big thing too. So maybe giving an option of scent-free gel would be a good idea.
Astringent alcohol, different things,
Yeah.
lotion, different things like that we use. And that's something we didn't think about. That's something I didn't even know. I
I
didn't
never even
think
thought
about
about
the
that.
scent
Yeah.
because there's so many different things and ways to try instead of just giving up and saying, you know what, I'm not cutting your kid no more. Don't bring him back. I mean, that's hurtful.
Yeah.
And I think after a while, like, you personally know what part of the haircut a child doesn't like. Like, if you know that they do not like hair on them, then you can take advantage of that. Or maybe the clipper sound is too loud, getting a quieter clipper, or using more scissors. But knowing the kid personally, I think it's definitely a lot on both sides. But on the barber perspective, that barbers actually need to take an initiative instead of just saying, "Oh, I don't want to cut a kid."
And the most important part of the haircut is a consultation. And the consultation doesn't have to happen the day of the haircut.
Mhm.
And especially for kids in your field. You don't want the consultation. You want the consultation, like we said, you can probably start the consultation 3 months in
Mhm.
advance, 2 months, or a day of, 2 days before. But if you know that your kid is going to be uncomfortable, your kid might scream a lot, and this is his first time, don't make his first time be that first day. Make it be something that you can build up to.
Yeah, and I mean, and I just love that idea. Like, I love the fact that just having them come and do stuff in the shop and just be around it, and that would help the parents too, because I mean, that really nothing more stressful even than actually being in the shop and just kind of relaxing and knowing that you don't have to worry about anything except getting a
Yeah.
haircut.
That'd be awesome.
So, I mean, that's good for the parents too to kind of build up the environment and get and know the bar, and you get to know the barbers that you would actually want to
Yeah.
cut your hair, seeing how they do deal with children.
And two, a lot of barbers, as barbers, we want an explanation. We want a preview. So it's okay for parents to come up to you or even give a phone call and say, hey, my name is such and such. I have a kid with sensory needs, or I have a kid who moves a lot. Will you be able to give him a haircut for me?
I actually got one of those text messages this morning from a woman. She said he's 2 and that they've had difficulty from him, just kind of giving me a heads up on it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try some of these things
I mean,
tomorrow. And
it's important
Yeah.
because again, you're preparing yourself as a barber, and that is that's your job, to give a consultation. And for parents now, we're not gonna let you off the hook. If you know your kid is going through something, please be open about it.
Yeah.
Don't let the barber figure it out, because that's one way of the barber saying, I can't, he's not coming back.
and I'm sure that some parents might feel some kind of insecure about being judged on their parenting techniques because of their child, and they might have a sensory need that people aren't aware of. And me myself, I don't put my business out for everybody. So, just being open would definitely be more helpful towards the barber, so that they and also can be a little more empathetic as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, because it's important, because to get that service done the way you want it, I mean, it's good to give a pep talk to the barber, let him know, hey, this is what, and then once you build that connection with the parent, you have a client for life,
mhm.
Yeah.
because they're going to be so brand loyal because you're doing them a good service and you taking care of little Joey or little Johnny, or even a little or Mary or Alyssa, or you know what I mean. As long as you're taking care of the kid, you have a client for life. And then on top of that, it's going to be referrals. It's going to be referrals from more and more kids and even adults. So that's one thing that people don't realize. The more tuned you are into your consultation for a kid or anyone, you're working on your referrals. You're working on your clients or customers for life.
How many of your clients? Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
Sorry. And parents share information so much. I mean, especially on Facebook and everything.
Right.
I mean, as soon as they have a good experience, I mean, they're telling other parents so quickly of who to go to see. So I mean, that's a big clientele that you guys could get.
Right. And at the school, we talk to our students. We don't turn down no haircuts at the school. So any parents out there who want a great haircut for a kid, haircuts are $5. For 10 and 11 and under, and 12 and up is $8. So come out. You have a kid. We'll work with you. We will be patient, and we'll try to accommodate you. Even kids with sensory, any types of needs, disability, wheelchairs, whatever. I think it's not fair that, and you don't even see it enough. kids with disabilities going to, they don't know where to go, and that's not fair for
I
them.
know.
Not
It is very frustrating. That's why I said like a lot of my parents do have that conversation with me. Just those simple things that seem so easy to other parents.
Mhm.
It's very stressful and frustrating just to come and get a haircut and
or just get any service,
Any
not just
service, yeah.
haircuts, any type of service. What other tips that you can give? What kind of tips you can give?
besides like the scent free or low scent gel and things like that for the barbers. Is that what you
Yes,
mean?
yes.
Getting a different kind of cape would be good, or no cape. Ahead of time, giving them some time to build up that experience and get used to all the sensory input. You could give them a fidget spinner or something like that while they are
I
That's
think
that's
about
a
that.
gem right
Yeah,
there.
that's
while
like
they
you're
are
earning a
sitting
crown.
there. Also, if you can maybe change, if you can take them maybe further away from people, if you have like an area that's like just for kids or
Right.
just for kids with sensory needs,
Right.
that's less overwhelming, maybe like a little bit dimmer lighting or things like that. And
So
maybe
not as much bright lights.
Yes, and maybe adjusting the lighting would be good, or also avoiding the hair dryer or being around the hair dryer if you can, because that loud hair dryer is very impactful for those.
And it's
children.
it's just like on. There's
Yeah.
no like
It's
build
no-
up. It's just like
no.
hair
Right.
So
dryer.
that can be a little rough sometimes. Let me think of some other things.
What can you say for parents who are nervous? Hearing myself and MI talk. What can you say for parents? How
So for
should they?
parents, I mean, definitely call you guys ahead of time to kind of tell you what's going on and what you guys can brainstorm. Okay. You can brainstorm about ideas of what would be beneficial for that child. So he likes some children like added pressure. So sometimes bringing like a weighted blanket or something like that to lay on their laps will let them sit a little bit better.
Mhm.
And then also writing a social story to work with them and read to them ahead of time, and reading it every day leading up to the haircut is great. Letting them bring their favorite toy or their favorite fidget spinner or iPad while they're sitting there, and getting them used to the sights and sounds of everything, hearing the clippers.
What about visuals, the music, television? What kind of things would you recommend? Or do you even recommend music?
So, I mean, I guess it just depends on each child, because each child is so different in terms of sensory needs. But you can talk to the parent ahead of time and say, having light music in the background is helpful. Having no music in the background is helpful. Having
YouTube.
YouTube is
Because
helpful.
every parent knows their kid, so they can give you the best description how to give the haircut.
Yes.
So it's doing a disservice if a parent come and know that their kids have certain type of needs that they need, and don't give no type of help or consultation to the barber to let them know how to service their kid.
Correct.
Wow.
That's why it'd be great ahead of time just to brainstorm together, and and even have like bring a little arsenal of things that would help them with you when you come. You have the weighted blanket, you have the unscented hair gel, you have the iPad, you have the fidget spinner, you have these things that would be beneficial for that child to bring along when you go to your
And then after all that, you gotta have patience.
Yes. Patience is number one, and understand that it's not going to go perfectly the first time, but you can always build up the experience to make it at least positive for the next time.
And that's the thing parents need to know too, because with the unreal expectations, for me, I will, and this is how I've been. I will cut your child's hair as long as you want me to cut your child's hair. So if he's fighting and we're going back and forth, I'll keep cutting until you feel like, okay, that's enough. And I usually wait for the parent to throw in the towel before I do.
And stay in tuned as a parent. Ask questions. Don't just drop the kid off, put him in a chair, and walk on the totally opposite side of the room.
Right.
Stand next to the barber. Ask him, do you mind if I stand next to you? Do you mind? Do you need me to assist you in any way? And if he says yes, I mean, more likely, if it's something that the barber can't handle, more than likely, I think he will say yes.
And barbers need to, I think it's easy to take for granted, like how difficult or how much the parent is having anxiety, as much as they might feel like they are, to be a little more empathetic to the fact that they would like their children to have a good haircut and that they are willing to pay for it. So,
and because no one wants to be a burden or feels like they're ostracized by where they go and where they are, and you want to blend in, you want to be welcome, you want to be okay.
Yes, exactly.
So what was some of the stuff that you've heard parents say?
A a lot of times they'll just tell me that they've avoided altogether. I mean, I have had patients that are 8, 9 years old who've never had a haircut ever in their life because it's just so they just have so much anxiety about how he's going to react to those
Mm.
situations. Like, they hate having their nails cut. So they assume, they're going to have issues with their haircut. They just know that certain things set them off and they just get they're very upset and anxious about
But
it. when they
I think
talk
that
to
they're
me.
doing themselves a disservice as well, because, um, if you find a barber that is patient, that kind of social interaction can, and especially with the sensory overload that could be a barber shop, would be such a positive thing for them to be around and help them grow, or maybe not grow. But obviously, they have the disability, and it limited to the growth, but it would definitely exercise the fact of being around the sensories like that.
So I remember my first class, we had students talking about we had an activity. Said, close your eyes and just describe your perfect barbershop. What would it look like? Describe it. So we had this one girl, she was hearing impaired, and she started describing her barbershop with a globe, with those disco globes, with braille. And I started thinking, I'm like, you're on to something. That's a business, because a lot of people who have disabilities, who can't see, who are hearing impaired, they want to get haircuts too, but they can't talk to the barber and tell the barber what they need. So if you can come up with a concept around hearing impaired, disability, just something to give services to people, that is something that is not in I don't know nowhere in the country where there's something like that.
Right. No, that would be amazing.
That'd be amazing, because you would tap into a market of people who haven't gotten service ever, maybe never, or for a long time.
And it feels so good to be in that environment, and
Yeah.
to have that haircut, and just know that you look good, or feel that you look good, is more important.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine, and as some kids get older into their teenage years and even young adults, and their parents just, I don't want to go into this barbershop, give them a haircut. So you going all this time without a haircut? That's not right.
Yeah.
It almost makes you sad, like someone not getting service.
I like seeing kids that come in for their first haircut, and they always got that long hair.
Right.
Every time I'm like, mullet, it's happening. The kids getting a mullet.
Man.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I mean, I think this is a big topic. This is a special topic. This is a great podcast, a great episode, because people need service.
This one really got my mind moving, like
It
thinking about
do.
like all the possibilities, like, and then like scheduling your booking around bringing children in and letting them experience that. Or maybe, I mean, it doesn't have to. It don't take 5-10 minutes for them to pop in and say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?"
Make sure it's an appointment. Number one,
Yeah.
that'd be a good thing. Make sure it's an appointment,
Yeah.
because if you have a special need, or just any kid who you don't feel comfortable in, make sure it's an appointment that you get in advance and say, "Hey, I might need some space. Can I come in when there's not too many people, when it's your downtime?" Maybe you go on a Tuesday or Wednesday when the shop is not as busy. Try to avoid days like Friday, Saturdays, when you know the shop is just
Yeah.
ram packed and just so busy.
That'd be a good idea too. Is just have like a certain time block at the end of the day where it's not so busy for kids with special needs to come in during that block,
Right.
where it's not so crazy in the shop.
Mm.
That could be a universal thing for the shop too. Like could be like the kid
The kid hour.
20,
or
yeah,
something.
exactly. Let them come in and just like feel around, because that's your future clientele. If
Awesome.
you trying to stay in business, that's how you stay with clientele.
Oh yeah.
What percentage of people you think that don't get service?
Gosh, out of children,
Yeah.
I would say 80%, 75.
Wow.
I would
That's
say almost 100% of my patients.
That's solid. Wow.
That's a big.
That's a
know.
big chunk. That's a big block
That's
of
all of
people.
it.
Yeah. Because I mean, as a parent, I want my kid to get service, so I'll do whatever it takes to make my kid happy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love taking my child now because I can't cut hair, so
Right.
he always looks. Even he loves it. It's a good experience, and he always looks good after. So
Right. So yeah.
On your side of it, how would you market that? How would you? What would you do to go about marketing those kind of services?
Well, I think, like I said, we'd have a particular day, and try to have a room set up, and let parents know all haircuts are welcome.
Mhm.
Even just go out there to um, group homes or specialty homes where kids are in need of that. Just kind of go out there and just.
You can even go to local clinics, like pediatric clinics where I work, and give out your information, because that would be a big thing. Parents get that information, and that's what they're looking for.
Wow. So you know what, Janie, we're gonna
So
team
drop
up.
off your
Yeah,
info with me.
we're gonna team up and just have them. We'll have a day for them, probably like on a
Serious, that
Tuesday,
would be great. Yeah.
once a month, where they can just come and get the haircuts.
Is there any kind of licensing that like a barber would have or class that they could take to prepare for it?
There's several like free sensory processing courses online that I can give you information about.
That would be awesome.
Where can you get those at?
I mean, I usually there's several people that I follow on Instagram that are great occupational therapists or speech pathologists that do a lot with sensory processing, that I can give you that
We
information.
should cite that.
I'll have to look it up.
post.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, that's valuable. I mean, we earning the crown. I mean, we didn't get top 25 on the web or in the world for not giving people solid information on how to help them do their job better. Shout out to Feed Spot again for putting us in that top 25 category for barber content on the web. Hashtag earn the crown. That's what it's about. If you're not earning the crown, what you doing? You're not doing nothing.
You working for the people of the crown.
Yeah. Yeah. Hashtag earn the crown. And again, we have we got a email address, barbercollegesuccess@gmail.com. And we just set up an IG page. Go follow the page at Barber College Success. We're gonna have every episode on there. Just drop episodes, little snippets of it. Like us, share us, let people know where to get where to earn the crown at Barber College Success. Janie, what do you like about this podcast today? What do you think of it? I know you was nervous. I know you was talking about my voice. I don't like my tone. I'm like, come on, Janie.
I mean, I think it's good that we had this good collaboration, that we have some good ideas that could help the people in the community, because that's a much needed service.
My head is still turning with ideas. Seriously.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got some more ideas too. So
share them.
I knew that was coming.
Sure.
You don't ask God for patience.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought like handing out your information at our clinics and things like that. And
Right.
I mean, I think that would be awesome. And just having like even like you guys filming a video of what it happens, so that I can show my patients ahead of time, watch this
Ooh.
video.
Right.
And this is going to be you in the video, just so they can know what's going to happen. I think
Right.
that'd be awesome too.
Like an
Yeah.
instructional
Yes.
video for.
As if you're the person in the
Oh
chair.
man,
You know
we
what I
just hey TikTok, Craig. Let's get on.
So you see why you have to come today, Jane? Why
I
it's
know.
important? How important? I've been trying to get Jane to come on this set for like about 6 months,
I know it's been a while.
and it's her field to
Mhm.
service her clients, and she just dropped. She's like, "No, I'm not coming."
I
Oh,
was, telling,
nervous.
I was telling somebody today, he's like, "What, you just talk about barber stuff?" I'm like, "No, it's not just about barber stuff. There's so many
You come up
practical
with some
uses."
good ideas.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many practical uses for this, because I mean, a lot of people don't have children, whether you have them or not. You
Yeah.
have a future.
and you have nieces, nephews, cousins, and you sympathize with people who just like, I'm not going to get a haircut, and just you know what, I'm not going. And that first bad experience,
Yeah.
they want to peg every barber like that, but every barber's not like that.
That's what I was saying at the beginning of the podcast. Like, you have to give the barber some credit, because there have been there's several incidents where parents have just been whatever. Here's my kid.
I just need them off.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's stressful for you all too.
And that's when we're just like
because
12 and older.
I think that's why it's important to meet you guys ahead of time and build that rapport with that person
Mhm.
and build that relationship. I think that's a big part of it.
because what most barbers are thinking is like, man, this haircut's gonna take forever. I'm only getting paid this amount for this haircut.
Mhm. I don't even cut my own kids hair. I
Yeah.
cut everybody.
And then they think about their tools. Oh man, this kid might take my clippers, throw it, and it might break. So those are stuff that barbers, just like the parents have anxiety, barbers have anxiety too. So we're just trying to break that stigma to bridge the gap so we can work together, because that's the important part, working together. You help the barber out and the barber helping the parent
Right.
out and servicing the kid or the adult, because there are a lot of adults with sensory needs who've been underserved too, and we want to take care of. Yeah,
Barbers want and parents want the same thing. Want a positive experience and a great haircut, and that's what everybody wants. So
so for people out there across the country, across the world, I hope you guys are listening, because this is an important topic. Some of the things that we covered is, hey, Start the consultation maybe even 3 months in advance. Think about a room, particularly where the lighting or the smells, or not a barbershop where everybody's on top of each other. You want to be able to have a somewhere off to the side where you can have wheelchair accessible, and be prepared to understand that you might want to have a different cape for a kid, a different something to collect the hair, and maybe have it because some kids they drool, and you want to have it prepared. Have a parent bring you an extra towel if you know your kid drools.
Or an extra shirt to change into right after, so they're not.
Yeah,
something to play with while they're waiting on the
Yeah,
haircut.
so have
Right.
like a little basket of little fidget toys or something the kids would be distracted with. That would
right. Have what does candy matter? You want to keep candy away from kids.
I mean, I'm always pro candy because it's a big. It can help a lot in certain situations. I mean, it really can.
I've
so.
had parents like, no, if that's not asparagus, my child's not eating it. Just Brussels sprouts, no candy.
Carrots.
Yeah,
Because just that sweet taste in their mouth might,
that's positive reinforcement.
yes.
Yes, because then it can add to the positive experience. too,
Exactly.
Bill.
They look for. I know I'm going to
Right.
get a sucker when I get here.
So what should there be like something like some type of prize towards the end for kids, something that maybe as they get the haircut, some they can color. I know that's probably too much.
GA said it. GA said I like McDonald's because shoot, they give me a toy.
So
You know, so it wouldn't take nothing to go to Ollie's or something and buy like, well, I'll say Ollie's specifically, but somewhere and just buy like a bulk of just like
Little toys.
they give away McDonald's toys. I think some places like
like a little
prize
sand
box that they
basket or
can-
something, some type of basket with
Yeah.
little toys
They
like
can have a little prize box, and they can say, "Okay, after the first haircut, and then prize box."
little action figures.
I know it's coming.
that
yeah.
would trump a sucker because I mean the money you spend on a sucker, you can buy them little toys because they can always come back to the toy. The sucker's gone,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Oh, that's true.
Wow, man,
That's stop, Craig.
this
Give it
is
to me. Jill's
Add
dropping.
so many-
Yeah.
I just falling out of his
I mean,
pocket
hey,
today.
earn the crown. That's what it's about. You earn the crown today. I think this was major. Again, check us out on IG, Barber College Success. If you have any questions, any message you want to send out to us, send us out to barbercollegesuccess@gmail.com. Hit us up at Crown Cuts Academy, JC or Crown Cuts Academy, Bristol. Send a message to Instagram, Facebook. What are your lasting words, Janie, before we close? Because every good thing must come to an end.
For all the parents out there with kids or with kids with special needs, don't be afraid and nervous about this experience because it can be a very lasting and beneficial experience for everyone in the end. So.
Am I?
Cut the kids' hair, guys. Give the kids a haircut.
Cut the
Kids
kids'
need
hair.
to look good too.
Show love. Spread love the JC way. The
Yes,
only way
sir.
we know how to do it is the Crown Cuts way. Janie, tell people where you work at.
So I work at Talkback Pediatric Therapy in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have questions about sensory needs or communication needs, they can email me at jreedslp@gmail.com.
Or can they go to your Instagram page and check you out and send message to you? Because a lot of people send message to me through Instagram.
I can.
Or,
My Instagram is GIJanie66.
what's 66
That's
for,
lit.
Janie?
I don't know.
That was my football number.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh man.
So you have any things you want to say today to a casual observer, casual fan before we close, am I? Again.
Stay on the here. You're gonna have so many gems when you leave. He's just throwing them out. He's just giving them out. He's falling out his pocket. It's not worth his time to turn around and pick them up.
No,
So
man,
he's
but-
leaving them for you.
Again, Barber College Success. Thank you for tuning in to a wonderful episode. I don't know what episode this is. I know we're past 50, but we're going to keep going. We have some special episodes coming up to you. We're going to have SBA, Small Business Association guy, coming on and drop some jewels and talk
Man.
about. We're going to have this lady come talking about yoga here pretty soon.
I don't know about all that.
I mean, why barbering and yoga goes together? Because stretching, I think it's important.
Oh yeah.
Janie, you want to come on that one too? You do yoga. Why is yoga important? Drop a
It
gem. Drop-
relaxes me and it decreases my anxiety. That's for sure.
So it might see. Look at that. So it can
my
help with
health.
barbers.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't know nothing about yoga.
So that's why we're gonna drop a
I'ma
jewel.
learn
We're gonna have
something.
it might be next week.
Downward dog. That's the only one I know. That's a style, I suppose, ain't it? Downward.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Good
tree,
job.
isn't there one called tree pose?
Yes.
Oh man,
That's the one like this, right?
yeah,
Okay, I'm in there. See, I didn't know how much.
yeah. I would fall if I did that again. But thank you guys for reaching out to us and checking us out. Follow us, like us, earn the crown. Barber College Success, second to none. The best podcast for barber information on the web, bar none. Come check us out. Spread the love the JC ways, the Crown Cuts way. The only way we know how to do it.
Where's GA at?